Papa Joe Feliz. Présidente Gay Marie. Tante Philippe.
Good afternoon, folks. Welcome. I'm Alfonso Ziensot of the Liberia Public Radio and Lpr-Tv. To want to welcome you to this edition of Freedom Watch. Freedom Watch comes on right here on the Liberia Public Radio from the East Coast of the United States. Today, my special guest is Dr. George S. Boley. I told you I'm a traditionalist, so we always like to take the traditional line. It's going to be a fascinating conversation here. A lot is unfolding inside Liberia, and the conversation is about to unleash right here on the Diaspora Informative News Outlet, Liberia Public Radio.
Dr. Bayedo. C'est à Marcel.
I'm taking you to the Cote d'Ivoire here this evening here. So if you don't know, if you can understand that from one of your Crown friend, Korean friend, whatever you think you can describe it, and they will tell you exactly what it is. I am Alfonso Ziensot of the Liberia Public Radio and Lpr-Tv. Facebook, please. This is just strictly entertainment here. We have no absolute copyright to this song here, but I love this song here because the message contains. Please share the show for us. Just hit the share button and invite someone at your company. LPR is here.
Spi Laurent, Spi Antoine. Okay.
Good evening, good evening. We want to welcome you to this program. I'm Alfonso Ziensot of the Liberia Public Radio and Lpr-Tv. As usual, we are here to bring you news, information, and entertainment. This is your regular edition of Freedom Watch coming to you live from the New England Bureau Desk right here. Today, my special guest will be Dr. George Boley. Dr. Boley, former Minister of State for Presidential Affairs, former Minister of Education, serving numerous positions in government, is now the lawmaker of District number 2, Grand County, Republic of Liberia. Well, recently, just 3 days to the country's 175th independence anniversary, the caucus met in an extraordinary move where they were taking a definitive position. Following that, Liberia Public Radio decided to reach out to the chair of the caucus to expand and have a little conversation as to how they got to that decision and why other 2 members of the caucus were not in attendance. In the interest of fairness, we reached out to them as well. We're still waiting to hear from them directly. Well, Dr. Boley accepted our invitation to appear here on the Liberia Public Radio to expand further on this conversation, and we hope we're going to be having that conversation yet very shortly. I am Afonso Zian Salt of the Liberia Public Radio and Lpr-Tv. Let's get the ball rolling. Okay. All right. My guest is standing by in the West African state of the Republic of Liberia. Dr. George Boley is the representative of Grand County, District number 2. He is my special guest. Our team of LPR team standing by right there in somewhere in Liberia. But we are privileged to have Dr. George Boley. Let me bring in my guest, and we will have this conversation going right away. We want to welcome you. Stay tuned. Okay, here we are. His Excellency Dr. George Sigbert Boley is represented District number 2, Grand County, former Minister of Government, occupies several positions in government, but he's still there on Capitol Hill as one of the lawmakers for Grand County. He's here as my guest this afternoon. I believe second time, the last time was during the 2017, but this time we were talking about that. Good evening and welcome on LPR.
Good afternoon, Mr. Stone. Good afternoon to you, and good afternoon to all of the listening Rangitans and our good citizens in the diaspora.
Okay, good. Thank you. Sunday should be a resting day. I'm sorry, we are sorry, but that's part of what you guys signed up. That's the only time we can have access to your weekdays. I don't want to interrupt working days as well. So Sunday, when after church or whatever, is good to have you. But good, I'm happy that you accepted our invitation for us to have this conversation here. Let's start working here. How is Capitol Hill so far, Da?
So far, so good. We closed last Friday for a break. Should be coming back sometime in October. Capitol Hill is good. So we've been doing our best, trying to stay alert and flagging the issues that affect our counties.
Okay, we're going to trust me. We're going to get to the cardinal issue, and I'm going to be getting your take on some of the critical issues ongoing. Talking about break, when you guys go on break, where is this break period? Where is it usually spent, or is it varies by individuals, or what is the understanding? Let me get a sense of this break here. Why you guys need break? Where are you going?
I'm trying to listen attentively to your questions. The internet is not the greatest on this end, and so you're breaking in, but I will try to respond to the bits and pieces that I hear of you. It's very important that we have this conversation, and I want to thank you for giving me an opportunity to talk with you and talk with our people and talk to those people who are willing to listen to what we have to say. We changed before the beginning of this budget year. The government went from having a budget from June to July. We changed the budget year from now January to December, so that changed also the break time that the legislators had. Politics is local. And with 73 lawmakers from 73 distinct constituents throughout Liberia, 73 electoral districts. And all of us are not the same. Every electoral district has issues that distinguish it from the rest of the districts. Even in Grandville, my own county, the issues that we have in Kunemo district are quite different from the issues that people have in district number 3 in Bison, or even in Chin district number 1. So during the break, actually, the lawmakers are expected to retreat to their respective constituents. And that's what some of us try to do. And the issue that we have for, of course, as you know, our road condition is not the best. And so getting to Grand Gila now by road is almost more than a challenge. And not just Grand Gila, those of us in the southeast that are affected by the road system in this country are seriously challenged in terms of getting to our constituents. But, we don't just see these people, our constituents, just on break. The way the legislature works, Tuesdays and Thursdays of every week are session days. At the days we actually sit in session, look at laws, look at issues from the executive. On Mondays and Wednesdays, we work on committees, we do committee work. The House actually works by committees. And committees are very powerful in the House. The speakers decide who serves on what committee. But that's another whole political ballgame. And then on Friday, it's actually the day reserved to see our constituents. And trust me, they come every Friday from every walk of life. So this connectivity with our electorates and constituents is not just during the break. I'm in Monrovia now, or I have not left to go to the county or to the district. And as soon as the conditions improve, I intend to get there before we come back in October from the break. That's the way it works.
So my hair is spinning right now from what I'm hearing here. The role, and this is not Dr. Boley alone. You have the right. If you want to plead the fifth, by the way, you are wanted to plead the fifth on this network here. We don't put people on the firing squad to answer questions. Now, this issue of this role, hearing you talk about committees. So, is that part of the rules? Only the speaker, at the will and pleasure of the speaker, to put people on these various committees and committee here? Is that how it works? And is that how it's been? You've been in government before.
The House is separate. It's the first branch of government, and it's headed by someone who has a title of speaker. Under our constitution, the Speaker of the House of Representatives in order of succession is the third person in succession in our constitution. The Speaker position is a very powerful position. The Speaker of the House is the one who appoints all of the committee members that serves on the various committees in the House of Representatives. And that's, that's by law, by our rules in the House. So the Speaker is the one who appoints the various committee members, the Committee on Judiciary, Committee on Executive, Committee on Ways, Means and Finance, Committees on Public Works, you name it, Agriculture, Committee on Health, or the Speaker is the one who makes those appointments. And the way the House works right now, I think there is an average of 7 members to a committee, or to cover the various committees that serve in the House of Representatives and that make these laws in the interest of the people of Liberia.
So I'm a little bit curious here, and I want to step ahead of my own shadow here. What happens and I'm going to use you as a case study, if you will. Dr. Boley is not a member of the ruling establishment. So can the speaker get you on any committee that more or less will be influential? Or what happens if you're not a member of the establishment? What becomes your fate, even if you are qualified to occupy a certain position? And I'm going strictly to the background. You are a guy from the educational background. I'm not sure who is the chair on education.
Well, you asked a very important question. Let me answer it bluntly. Politics is interest. And if you are not a member of the ruling party, or you're not, the speaker doesn't see you as a member of supporting the party, they appoint people who will support the institution. Yes, I have been Minister of Education in this country. I served, I think, at one time I was the longest serving Minister of Education in this country. I think until Mr. Shirley and then Gonga served longer. But I am not the I am not the chairman of the House Committee on Education. Um, I am the co-chair of the House Committee on Education. Uh, I mean, it's the Speaker's prerogative. He didn't have to appoint me to that position, but Speaker appoints who the Speaker wants to appoint to head the committees and to serve on these committees.
Let me intro into the work of your committee. Is your voice, is it heard loud and clear, and is it respected as it should be, if you will, as co-chair on education?
Well, I think so. I think the members in the committee, hold my views in high regard. I may not chair the committee of education. I haven't chaired the committee on education, but I am, the speaker about 2 years ago decided to make me co-chair of the House Committee on Education. That's the position that I hold now. I serve on that committee with 6 other persons. The chairman of the committee, the chairleader of the committee is a nice lady from Lopa. She's chair, and I'm co-chair. And the members of the committee, not only in the House, but at least in even the joint committee members in the Senate, the whole House in high regard. So yes, in that particular area, we are heard, and I think that due respect is given us in our views on issues relative to education in this country.
How many times does a committee meet? Maybe months? Is there any sort of regular time meeting to discuss some of these critical issues, educational wise, confronting the nation? Not just Morovia. I'm not referring to Morovia. I'm referring to the Republic of Liberia educational system. You guys meet routinely?
So our work is not, as a lawmaker from Grenville, the laws that we make, whether you're from Lopa, Bong, Lima, the laws that we make affect the Republic of Liberia. And so we don't look at issues as a, yes, Monrovia is, we have the population here and whatnot, but Monrovia is not the center of everything that we do. We do meet as regularly as circumstances permit. When there are issues in the school system, through the Ministry of Education, the Committee on Education is involved. We do have regular seminars and dialogues as far as education is concerned. So yes, we do meet as often as circumstances permit. When issues come on the floor that have to do with education, they get referred to the Education Committee. In most instances, the joint committees, for example, somebody wants to open a school, that issue usually is referred to a joint committee of education, judiciary, ways, means, and finance, because they do say they want to do a school in, for example, Bassa. Okay. The implications are you may have the population, but the school will need teachers, you're going to need logistics, you're going to need things to run a school, not just a building. And so when that issue comes up, it goes to the Committee on Ways, Means, and Finance, goes to the Committee on Judiciary to see what laws there are that might conflict with other schools in the district. It goes to the Education Committee. And so we work in committees. in in the house. In fact, this Wednesday, actually, in fact, today was supposed to be in Ganta with the House and the Senate Joint Committee on Education. Okay, um, we have a joint secretariat, okay, that manages our joint venture. In other words, the Senate has the community education, the House has the community education. We call that the Joint Education Committee, and it operates through a secretariat. UNICEF is sponsoring a stakeholder meeting for education in Ganta. As I speak to you today, we should have been arriving in Ganta for the meeting to start on Monday and Tuesday, which is August 1 and August 2nd. But due to some other issues, and that's why I'm here. I'm not in Ganta. Otherwise, I would have told you, let's have this meeting when I get back from Ganta. But we postponed that meeting to next Wednesday. We arrive on Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. We will discuss this issue, funded and sponsored and hosted by USF. We'll be back in Monrovia hopefully on Saturday. So we have to, even break, we're still meeting with in as far as education is concerned.
Yeah, and hopefully, maybe through your helping hand, hopefully we can host the chair on the lower house on education as well. We want to be focusing on issues of substance, real issues that are affecting the country, not this sort of entertainment nonsense that is ongoing around here. And believe me, we're going to get to the cardinal issue here, but these are burning issues people are also talking to us with. I tried to do a recollection here, Dr. Boley. When you were Minister of Education, you had any school, you operating in a school under your wife personally as a minister at the same time having the institution?
No, I did not. I did not. I was Minister of Education from November 1981 to January 1986. I never ran any private school as Minister of Education.
Are there laws I'm trying to, and I know this question is not for you, but I'm trying to build my case, and hopefully the Minister of Education or authorities at the ministry will also give us the opportunity and to plead it down. Are there laws on the book that forbid that?
I'm not sure, Mr. So, I can check that out and get back to you. I'm not sure whether there are laws that prohibit a minister from running a school or owning a school or being the proprietor of a school. But I do know that there are laws that prohibit, cabinet ministers and people in government from running, private businesses and certain industries where there is potential for conflict of interest.
Yeah.
Education, I'm not certain. I can check that out as soon as I get off this program.
Yeah, I really need an answer. And I don't want to be judgmental what they are doing here, but I see it to be a lot of issues here. But we are about to transition to one of the cardinal issues for which we are assembled here this evening. Folks, I'm Alfonso Zienso, the Liberia Public Radio and Lpr-Tv. Okay, good evening again. I'm Alfonso Zienso. Our special guest is Dr. George S. Boley, is Representative District Number 2, Grangeda County, Republic of Liberia. 3 days to the 175th Independence Anniversary, there was a major press conference. LPR crew, they were on scene recently. That was on the 23rd of July. 3 days to the 175th Independence Anniversary. And we want to be a little bit illustrative here to tell you exactly how it unfolded. There was a major press conference. Courtesy of Liberia Public Radio team at the time at the press conference captured some of the fascinating images. I'm going to bring in that and then we will get back to the point here. Stay tuned. Very special press meeting. Now what shall I do? I will now turn the floor over to our intro. Then we keep it going.
Thank you. Good afternoon, gentlemen. Thank you for coming.
I know that there's a strength
George Boley will address the press now.
things to do. All of you have been there earlier this week. We had to respond. We ask you to come today so that we can now I know those well, where are the others? I consulted with Ombudsman, and he was of the disposition of not having a press conference as opposed to waiting to meet with Mr. We will be with Mr. eventually after the holidays, but for the particular purpose of this holiday and what we are experiencing as a people in Grand County, we think it's very important that we
Okay. Let me move this here. They have seen that the audio seems to be corrected, but that's something I don't need to tell you. It was watched worldwide. People still view that. Was that you, Dr. Boley, at the head of that table having a conference on, that I believe was on July 23rd?
Yes, sir. Saturday.
Saturday. Okay. So let me get a little bit backdrop here. How we got to this point, how the caucus got to that point of hosting the conference. Yes, interpretations in different contexts, different ways, depending who you ask. People have their own explanation. But let me get a sense here how the caucus got to that point.
The network is bad. I didn't hear that at all.
Yeah, so, okay,
Can you repeat the question?
Yeah, I was asking how did the Grand Judah caucus got to that point to stay away from the 175th independence anniversary?
Oh, okay. Thank you. I know that, and I'd like those of our members in the diaspora to, I appreciate your concern and, keeping track of what's happening here with us in the county and in the country. That's laudable cause. I think that as your representative, we owe you an explanation. And that's why I'm taking the time to try to explain to you what prompted our decision regarding not participating in any celebratory activities for the 175th independence anniversary. You can be celebrating when you are sad, when you're bereaved. That's what's happening in Grand County, and that's what's going on. There have been several instances of disappearances of individuals in our county over the last several months. In fact, there's been more than the Lpr-Tv donor issue. Lpr donor issue is actually the issue that tipped the scale. Before Lpr donor, you got capital statement. There were 4 or 5 other instances where people just disappeared in the county, mainly in the Bison Belt, but it's in the county. And nothing has been done with respect to solving these problems. Lpr donor is not just for Liberians. Lpr donor works for the National Elections Commission. Anywhere in the world, especially in the United States where you are, you don't play with election issues. In our own laws, issues that have to do with elections, you get a 7-year jail term. You don't tamper with elections issues. That's what our law says. Much more, you don't tamper with election magistrates. Albert Donald was serving as acting magistrate for elections. Albert Donald disappeared on May 3rd. Next, August 3rd will be 3 months. We have been trying to make sure that the government takes seize of this matter at the highest level. What the government has done has been less than satisfactory to us, the caucus of the county. This is why we decided that our own way of just protesting is to say, look, we are bereaved. We're not going to participate in any election, in any celebration. And it's all right. So I don't know why anybody would think differently. And there are 5 of us that constitute the caucus. 3 of us decided, and the 3 is a quorum, and those are the 3 you saw in the program, in the press conference. The other gentleman, when I contacted him, his issue was, he didn't go along with it. The 5th person never responded to my phone call, and so we had to move on. I think we did the right thing. I think we're going to get some answers, eventually. After the press conference, we're now beginning to find out that, we're beginning to find out, to get information that we have not had until now. And we should have answers to these issues. This is what prompted us, and we will keep pressing ahead until we believe that some reasonable resolution, or some, reasonable conclusion is arrived at with regards not only to the donor issue, but to the issue of others that are gotten missing mysteriously in this country. It's a bad omen for Grand Judah County. We are sad. That's why we decided not to celebrate when we are bereaved.
So let me ask you here, Ty, for the rest of the 2, for us, we don't sugarcoat it yet. That's what we signed up to do. I didn't see Honorable Chesia represented. I didn't see Senator Ty Zoe Emmanuel Peno. Do you guys have like a chat room to share notes, something like that? How do you exchange correspondence?
The phone is breaking up. Please repeat that question.
I was asking, do you guys have a caucus chat room, lawmakers? You have a chat room, or how is the correspondence system works with the caucus?
Well, under my leadership, I became chair of the caucus, I think in March of this year. Mr. Grant was chair for the last 4 years of our being here. Under my leadership, we communicate through letters for the record. I know modern technology, chat rooms, and text messages are there, but we keep records. So I cite caucus members to meetings by memo, by invitation through the secretary of the caucus. And we serve you notice. This is what the issues we want to discuss. Let's meet and let's discuss them. I think that's the right thing to do for record's sake. We don't have meetings on chat rooms, or have meetings on radio talk shows. It's only prudence and administratively prudent to make sure that you keep record. If I ask you, caucus members, to come to a meeting, you have to receive a citation. Give me a response. Let me know whether or not you will come. But I follow up these invitations by phone call. Did you get the notice for a meeting scheduled for Tuesday? You receive it, yes. Will you come? Will you not come? That's the way it works, and that's the way it should work in my judgment.
Yeah. So it was acknowledged that both gentlemen, honorable members, received that invitation to attend the press conference, correct?
Yes, in the instance of Honorable Peno, it was he did not. In fact, let me tell you the situation since you asked. When I sent communication to Senator Peno's office, he refused to receive them. He refused. It's his prerogative. But every communication I've sent to his office, I've got a copy of it. So I think people out there should know exactly what's unfolding. There's nothing to hide, anything on the carpet. So Joe has, in essence, refused to receive any communications from us. Now, I find that interesting because when Mr. Grant was chair, and Arnold Pennon was secretary. Uh, he kept records. I was a co-chair of the caucus to Grant for 4 years. Uh, Zoe had he kept the record supposedly. Now, when I sent him an invitation the last time for a meeting, he told my staffer that he has no files for the caucus. So until he can open a file for the caucus in his office, he will receive no communication from us. I mean, that's the level of thinking that we now have of people in the caucus. And I'm not saying this in a manner to sound denigrating. I'm just telling you the fact, what's going on the ground. Or in the case of Chester Grant, I talked to him on the phone. At least Mr. Grant was decent enough to talk to me and say, look, I won't be able to attend, or I differ with you boycotting the celebration. And I said, the three of us, Arnold Guillaume, who's the secretary of the caucus now, Arnold Dennis, who's the co-chair, and I as chair, you know, we decided to go ahead, and that's the consensus. You only need three persons, and the three of us are in agreement. We do what we believe is the best thing to do in the interest of the country, and that's what we did. And I can assure you, as a consequence of what we've done, Grand Jury will not be taken for joke. We will get answers to questions that are unanswered from the highest level in government. We are part and parcel of the Republic of Liberia. Issues that affect us should affect the country as a whole. That's our point.
Okay. Look, I want to get it right here. We don't like to leave information over the clouds of darkness here. So, what was the definitive answer provided by Honorable Grant? Did he say he was not attending, or he said he differed with the policy? That's why he was not honoring the invitation? Or what did Honorable Grant actually say to you?
With respect to which issue now, the issue of
the press conference. Why he was not attending the press conference?
Oh, he just was in total disagreement with not celebrating this, not celebrating our decision not to participate in the celebration. He was in total disagreement. When I spoke to him on the phone, I told him, I mentioned that the superintendent of Maryland County had said similar thing, I think a week or so before, that they also were boycotting the celebration because some young men got missing and they couldn't, they were just not happy. The superintendent. And so when I called Grant and told him that given the African donor situation and why the Minister of Justice, I called the Justice Minister to ask him for an explanation. The Justice Minister said to me that he hadn't got enough information from his people, and that this week, that this week as we're now in, he will revert to us the caucus with respect to what is going on with the donor investigation. Now, this week will be after 26. So I conveyed that message to the colleagues, and we decided to do this press conference on Saturday while we wait for the Justice Minister to get to us with respect to how the Lpr-Tv donor issue and other and issues other people similarly affected. How is the Justice Ministry treating these issues?
My hair is
so that was good. That was good. So specific reason for not being there.
So, Dr. Boley, my hair is spinning right now. And so I will further expand. Any Grenadians or any Liberian listening will say, wait a minute, what is the working relationship? We want to narrow it down here. What is the working relationship of the caucus and that of the county leadership? What's going on? What is the coordination? Is there any working relationship? And is there a good rapport? Because the county and the caucus believe there should be some sort of coordination. I'm not sure whether that is happening. Probably I'm getting it wrong. What is the working relationship with the caucus and that of the county leadership?
Let's repeat. You said the county leadership and the caucus, or the working relationship with the caucus?
I'm talking, like, let me say, the superintendent is the chief administrator here of the county. A magistrate, when we're talking about 3 months now, are you had a caucus? Are there been any sort of conversation with the county superintendent in terms of what they have been doing, how they have been working to debrief the caucus in return as to what was happening? I'm concerned.
So we are all concerned. If we were not concerned, we would not have been taking the action that we were taking, or we would not have taken the action that we're taking. When this incident occurred, I was out of the country. I came back and plunged immediately into making sure that the national government got involved. Prior to my return to the country, the superintendent, and the local government, the local authorities on the ground in the county had begun the process of searching for this young man who just disappeared mysteriously. Okay? When I came back to the country and the caucus got involved, that's when the national government got involved in terms of dispatching the Minister of Internal Affairs to the county. That's when the national government got involved subsequently with dispatching a team of forensic investigators from the National Police Headquarters in Monrovia. That's when the Ministry of Justice got involved with dispatching the county attorney on the ground to conduct an investigation to bring to book those persons who are uh, uh, to be queried and to be to be questioned, and if any indictments there are, if anybody knows anything, the government should pursue that person or these people. Okay, we've taken our stance, and so the issue is the local government is doing what it could do. We as a caucus have gotten to the national government to do what it should do, and as I speak to you, we still feel that the government should. After our press conference, I just told you that the government is finally coming up with information that we didn't have until last week. Hopefully, this August term of court, we should be able to hear from the Justice Ministry in terms of whether or not there are any prosecutions or there anybody who is to be brought to book with respect to this issue. So we're still forging ahead, and we're working. And we'll keep working because we owe it to ourselves and we owe it to our people.
Where are those information coming from now? Where you say you're getting some information? Where are those information coming from now, and why are they coming now? You say because of the conference? Who are holding up to them?
Pardon?
I'm asking where are those information that you are getting now? Where are they coming from?
No, the information I'm giving you now with respect to potential indictments will be this August term of court. That information came directly from the Assistant Minister for Litigation, a gentleman called Assistant Minister Wisa at the Ministry of Justice. We didn't have that information until now. So now that the August term of court is about to commence, we will make sure that the Justice Ministry, through his Ministry for Litigation, pursue the case, and we need to know who these people are that are going to be indicted or should be indicted with respect to whatever investigation the Justice Ministry has conducted.
Has there been any persons of interest, any arrests being made with respect to this suspected individuals? As far as you are concerned, the committee been briefed, any arrests of people of interest that they are talking to currently?
The Minister of Justice says that he will contact the caucus this week, sir. And I intend to call him and remind him, okay, that he promised me when I called him before we conducted this, before we had the press conference, that he had no information to give us until this week. This week is ended, and I intend to revert to the Minister of Justice. Now that his justice, his assistant minister for litigation, has said that there are 4 indictments unnamed. I mean, I'm not an attorney, but the government has a way of issuing indictments, and and I don't know the names of the people that have been arrested, that have been indicted for the August term of court. That's information that we expect the Minister of Justice to pass on to us when, if and when we meet him as he planned.
Well, you used to worry. I'm not sure whether you were speaking in code. Grand that would not be taken for granted for joke. What is the interpretation? Were they taking us for joke? Were they taking us for rap? I know there are a lot of conversation out there. The president, they say he's a son of Grandjide, and here we are. We're having all of these issues. You're lamenting people being disappearing, not just only in Grandjide, other places. Summary people badly been found, inconclusive investigation here. So, as the caucus tried to reach out, that's it's been reported. Your own son, is he aware of all of that, or yeah, or nobody give heads up? Do you think?
Well, and so I don't I can respond to that. I really don't know. I know that nothing is secret in this country, or an election magistrate, acting magistrate. This man works for the National Elections Commission. He just disappeared in thin air. It will be 3 months, the 3rd of August, and nothing. No response. Whatever response we're getting is less than satisfactory. So I have no, I mean, I can I can only tell you how I feel and what I feel, and that's how I can say whatever anybody else knows. Um, I just told you that grandchildren would not be taken for granted, would not be treated like a stepchild in this country, as long as we are representatives of our people from Nigeria.
How do you, Dr. Boley, how do you respond to your critics or your opponents say, what Dr. Boley could potentially, and I will ask you that, I'm not sure whether you're seeking re-election. We are hearing Senator Marshall Dennis will be seeking re-elections. The other critic will say, wait a minute, this guy is just a political stunt that they are on because they are seeking re-election, probably. I'm not sure whether you have made that decision there. Is that an arguable point?
I don't, you know, Mr. So, when Grand Dealer was burning, everybody took rescue. Some of you are in America today as a consequence of fleeing what happened here in this country, not just Grand Dealer. Okay. Was I seeking re-election when I put my neck out there, make sure that we have a place called Grand Dealer today? No. So it's just me. It's not about re-elections. It's not about re-elections. Whether I go for re-election or I go one term or I don't run 2023, that's fine. But as long as I am the representative of the people of District Number 2 and the people of Nigeria County and the people of Liberia, remember, every representative represents this country as a whole. Okay? So it's not about re-election. The naysayers can say whatever they want to say. It's not about re-election for me or Senator Dennis or anybody. We owe it to ourselves to make sure that our people, and secondly, I'm from Kunimbo District. This young man who got missing, disappeared, is from Kunimbo District. So he's from my constituency. I owe it to him and his family to put up the best representation to make sure that his issue just does not get swept under the rug, like we said in our press conference. Right now, it seems like the donor case is getting zero attention, and it shouldn't be that way. An election magistrate just does not disappear, and nothing happens. So it's not about re-election. You guys can say whatever you want to. But I'm telling you, it's not a re-election.
So then let me ask you this question. Let the cat out of the bag. Are you seeking re-election, Dr. Boley?
Yes, I am. Yes, I will. But it's not a re-election. It's not a re-election.
It's just
Look,
it's just specific thing that is inconclusive for which you want to finish, that for which you perhaps seeking re-elections. Why should the people of Queenable District re-elect you?
well, the people of my district will make that determination. Okay. The way our system works is unlike every other system. You know, we all use the generic term democracy. Every democracy has its own flavor. Okay? We are a young, democracy. We live in a particular part of the world where our thought processes, our level of thinking is far different from other democracies. And so what you may see as undone from your perspective, maybe it's not as complete by others. So this whole issue of what is it that you haven't done that you need to do, uh, the electoral process and the work to be done, it's you have an agenda and you work towards it. Yeah. And sometimes we have delays.
Right.
We have the COVID-19 virus, yeah, that came and caused serious havoc here, Ebola and other things. And so the things that are not done that you'd like to see done, and so these are issues. The particular issue we have now in the country, the level of insecurity, the level of fear, okay, the fact that people in the country now are just afraid. Okay? I mean, are we all going to sit down and just be fearful? No, no. So if no other reason than making sure that we make that we keep the country on an even keel, that you have somebody who who can address issues with some level of intelligence, okay, and let the world know that yes, there is a representative who is not just another one of them. That's the reason they want to seek re-election.
So let me ask you here. It might be insane. After your press conference, which I made your position clearly known that you were not happy, and so we're not going to observe here before we wrap up here. One of your colleagues, his vehicle was vandalized. Been talking to people. His vehicle was parked. Multiple cars were parked there. We don't know why. We try to follow up with the police authority. Nobody have told us anything. Is it fair to say? Yeah.
And so, let me tell you something. Nobody will run us out of Liberia. Nobody will run us into that country. Okay? I just told you that these people, these little people who think they can scare everybody, they better think again.
Who are those people?
I know what you're talking about.
Who are those people?
Well, I don't know whoever they are, they're cowards. Only cowards will do such a thing. Okay? Only cowards will do such a thing. We had a press conference. Okay? Madison read the statement. And within hours of doing that, his vehicles were vandalized by bunch of thugs and gangsters. Whoever organized it, they should think twice. Okay? And that's why I'm telling you that nobody will run us out of fear. Nobody has monopoly over violence. Okay? And we want to send a clear message to these people.
Are you afraid that maybe person?
Mr. Madison had informed the police. Senator Patrick White from Grand Crew took interest. He's chairman of the Southeastern Legislative Caucus of the 5 counties, and last I think 2 days ago, was it 2 days ago? He he invited us to a meeting. He was, this whole thing went viral way for Madison. And it's an act that should be condemned. Okay? The sitting senator from Grand Group, invited the Grand Legislative Caucus to a meeting. Okay? And yesterday he posted again inviting the Southeastern Legislative Caucus to look into this issue in Grand Jury with Madison Williams. Okay? I took the phone. He called me 8 o'clock yesterday morning and said, "Look, I want to meet with the Grand Jury Legislative Caucus." I picked up the phone and I called the Senator Dennis is currently out of the country. So I called Graham. He consented to meet with Senator Palipa. I called Uncle Grant, and Grant says that he has issue with transportation and that he won't be available at the meeting. Okay. I won't even venture to tell you what Senator Penum said. Call Senator Palipa, he will tell you Joe Penum's response to him.
Dr. Boley, I'm having you now. I'm not having the other senators. So why can't you share that information? If you are sharing the other information relative to what the other guys said.
You really want me to tell you on this public radio what Senator Penum said to me and to Senator Padikwa?
No, Dr. Boley, you are at liberty. And the reason we are doing this here because all of us, some of us, put everybody in that basket of deplorable, not doing the right thing. So we elected you people, whether we voted for, we voted against until your time expires. It's the same with the president. We can be different with them in policy. But we need to understand what is going on because this is not only Grand there because I was talking to friends from Bon County, even here other county is it. But now I'm privileged to talk to my own lawmaker from Grand County. Do you care to tell us exactly what Honorable Penum said? What there's a fluctuations in the internet system in Liberia. Let me just get it off here. I am Afonso Ziensot of the Liberia Public Radio and Lpr-Tv in an exclusive with Dr. George Boley, who is represented District Number 2, Grand County. And we are now hearing that Dr. Boley, will be seeking re-election. I am getting message here that potentially Ellis Chesia Grant will be appearing here. We will also be appearing on this network here. So these guys, they are monitoring. They know what's going on. So let me see here. We'll be bringing him back here, and very shortly we're going to be. Yeah. Okay, I'm getting you now. Are you there, Dad?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, loud and clear.
Okay, I'm here. Can you hear me? Okay. I explained to you what Senator Patakwa did. I told you the response of Chesia Grant from District Number 3. I called Senator Penum, and he called me back and told me that he wasn't attending any meeting to talk nonsense and foolishness to anybody. He called Senator Patikwa of Grand Group and told him the same thing. Those are exactly what Senator Penum's response was with respect to the meeting that was being requested by Senator Patikwa from Grand Group. Now, you have somebody with such mentality. Come on. You will not sit down and talk nonsense with an elder, Boley, and an elder, Patikwa. Please. So this is what is unfolding. Those were, as Senator Penum, those were his exact words. This is a man who says he doesn't have a file for the caucus. But look, the bottom line is nobody, absolutely nobody, will run us out of Grand County. Nobody owns Grand County but all of us. Anybody who thinks you own a county, you make a mistake. That's it. And there are people who actually believe that they own this county. They can leverage it. They can mortgage it for their own gains. And I keep reminding you people, grandchildren, whether you like it or not. I, George Boley, am one of those who paid with my blood for what you call grandchildren county today. Okay? For better or for worse. Yeah. So these little yesterday people now cannot come and 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 insult me, dignitaries. That's the level of thinking we have within what we call the Grand Legislative Caucus. I'm sorry. That's it.
Is anybody trying to run Dr. Boley outside of Grand Jide?
Man. I want to hear this man answering properly.
Are you here? Are you hearing me,
Please
Dad?
repeat.
Yeah, I was asking you. I'm
Please
concerned
repeat.
here. I'm concerned here because I don't want people running people out of a place. I'm asking, is anybody directly or indirectly trying to run Dr. Boley or any other lawmaker out of Grand Jide?
So let me tell you, nobody ever. Only God can move me from Nigeria. Okay? Nobody. Anybody want to try that and try it, will be in vain. I'm just telling you. That's it. And those people who think that they can claim the county to mortgage it, okay, they're making a mistake. They will not succeed. We saw that this last by-election. That's it.
You have been in government. We are about to wrap up, and I believe you are in the opposition. And being in the opposition does not necessarily give one the definitive position stand to say, I don't want the equipment. Do you think President Weah deserves second term?
Do you think Joshua deserves a second term?
Well,
Joshua deserves a second term?
look, that's up to the Liberian people. I mean, I've got only one vote, sir.
You get one vote, but your voice have thousands votes. Grand Jide from time to time, Grand Jide have the history. It's my own county, I would say. But Grand Jide has a history from Helen Johnson's time. They have voted this government massively. Massively. Do you think they should still go ahead to do that? Or you as a lawmaker, saying what is unfolding, so you alluded insecurity, the case of Alfred Donald and other people that you have made reference to, are there enough reason for why you as a sitting lawmaker perhaps would take the microphone and jump in Grand Jide to say, you know what, it's time to take the bull by the horn. Your vote has not served us a purpose and you can side those. Is that something you're willing to do?
Well, the people of Grand Jide are feeling and are seeing what is unfolding in the country. All I can say to you is that the performance of Mr. Weah, the work of Mr. Weah will speak for itself when it comes to the people of Grand Jide County.
Okay, what we want to leave it here this afternoon. We hope to have you here. Now we know that you are officially you are seeking the re-election. Hopefully, your campaign will open up. Is there anything specific you want to talk about? Perhaps we didn't touch. You want to speak to, since you have this opportunity to share with the Liberian people and the folks that are listening to you.
Well, I want to take this time to again thank you people for taking interest in what's happening in our county and in our country. It's voices from people like you in the diaspora that keeps some of us, hopeful that someday we will all see the light. From people like you, your support, give us the hope that someday we'll all see the light. And, just keep plugging away. Right now, it's a matter of making sure that we have access to our counties, the southeastern counties. And again, I'm not blaming anybody. I'm just saying the Southeastern countries. Somebody was telling me the last time that look, you Southeasterners should complain. In the last 60 years, the leadership of Liberia have been in Southeast for like 40 some years. Tubman's 27 years, Gold's 10 years, and you add that on, and Julius Bryan 2 or 3 years, and all of that. But the point is, you guys in the diaspora are our hope. Staying in church with us, encouraging us, gives us that at least something is worth fighting for. We hope to do well by you and by our people here on the ground. The level of right now, the level of insecurity in the country is high, and rightfully so. And this is no time for anybody to cower. Only cowards will do what they did to Madison Graham. And those who got their hands in it, they're cowards. You want to confront a man? Talk to him. A sitting senator from another country call us to a meeting, and then he have some, someone, getting insulting about it. I mean, it's denigrating, but that's where we are. So, please stick with us. Don't give us enough. Don't give up on us. We would not give up on you.
Oh,
Thank
yeah.
you for your time.
Yeah.
Those of you listening to me, thank you so very much.
All right.
Please stay with us.
Do you have time to take 2 or 3 questions from our audience? I know that that's not something we plan. I don't usually do that, but do you have time for 3 or 4 questions?
The network is extremely bad. I like to do
okay.
it. Yes. Okay. Yeah. Let me see if I can understand how. I'll talk to whoever.
All right. Yeah. We'll try. Yeah, we're working on it. We'll try to. Why you need to? We're in the 21st century. You're the lawmaker. You need to make sure broadband is also is also good. So let me try it. We're going to put this question. Please ask your questions relative to our point of conversation here. I want to put this. This is the number here. If you want to call, just call as soon as possible. And hopefully, at some point in time, we can arrange to have Dr. Boley here to look at his campaign and why he intends, what his new vision for the people of Penable District in the county. That would be a different kind of conversation. But if you want to form party, you want to ask a question, please just call our number 682-433-8802 as soon as possible, because we are about to wrap up here. Those of you who wants to participate, just call the number there is 682-433-8802. That's the number to call, and you can ask your question based on the talking point, the conversation that we have. If not, we will just leave it here, and we'll try to arrange perhaps where we can have maybe be a time host with his constituents and the people of Grand Gide. And again, in the interest of fairness, we reach out to both Honorable Zoe Emmanuel, Honorable Ellis Chesia Grant, to also find answers as to why they were not alongside their colleagues during that conference. We are hearing sources close to Honorable Ellis Chesia Grant. He's considering his appearing on the Liberia Public Radio as well. Okay, well, it is where it is. Dr. Boley, let's get your final word before you take leave of office. Let's get your final statement.
Please repeat. I'm not hearing you.
Yeah, I was asking your closing statement before we let you go. Your closing statement for today's. Okay, hold on. Okay, hold on 1 second. Hold on, Dr. Boley. Let me bring in. Hold on, Dr. Boley. Hold on 1 second. Let's take this call here. I believe it's coming from UK. Mr. Roosevelt Johnson Jr. is calling for questions or maybe observation. Mr. Johnson, are you there?
Hello?
Yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm here.
Yeah, okay. Okay, go ahead.
Hello? Yeah. Yeah, hi everyone there. Hi, Doc. How you doing?
Yeah. All right. Go ahead. He hearing you.
Yeah, my question here to the doctor is that I've been listening to majority of the questions regarding issues between him and the other lawmakers. I just want to remind the elected elected people of our county, including Dr. Boley, that the people they were elected on behalf of the people. I respect them. We all respect them to work together in interest of people, and to find out the differences, make sure the goals of our county is accomplished. To work together in interest of people, and
can you lower your monitor because you're listening to it, so the echo coming back to us. Okay. All right. Thank you. Yeah, he has his monitor on too, so that's why you see the echo coming here. So Dr. Boley, go ahead and make your closing statement. Make your closing statement.
Okay. Again, I want to thank you for the opportunity to check in with us and to share your concerns. I urge you to continue checking with us. All those in the diaspora who are concerned, we want to thank you. We want you to use whatever influence you have to engage our colleagues. I know we all have families here. Talk to them and let us try to restore some level of sanity for ourselves, so that we can be represented and be seen as people who represent a constituent that needs to be taken seriously by the leadership of this country, so that we too can become beneficiaries of whatever the Republic of Liberia has for the citizenry. I started out by saying our Grand Leader is not a stepchild of this republic, and it should not be treated as such. The issue of
What this is absolutely, we really do not have control over this. Okay, let's see here if we can get him on back here. The internet system in the country too is such a horrible one. So let's see, hopefully if it works, and we can get him. So let me just move this and I'll just leave it as it is until I can get his image, and then I will add him. Okay, let me see here. He's back on here. Okay, go ahead, Dai.
Okay.
Yeah, we are listening.
Okay.
Yeah, go ahead.
the issue as you okay. Let me summarize what I've said. I mean, the connection is so bad. I want to thank you again for this opportunity. Those of you in the diaspora, we thank you for your interest. This is home. Keep checking with us. Help us to restore sanity to our situation. Help us to get the word out to the powers that be. Grand dealers should not be treated as a stepchild in this republic. An issue that affects us, affects the whole country. When Grand dealer is insecure, the country is insecure. Any part of the country where you have insecurity, we all have issues. So our position is to make sure that somebody listens to us, that the average donor issue does not get swept under the rug. Now that the government is saying that in August there should be some indictments, we are anxious to see who the indictees will be, and we will see how the matter will be resolved. Thank you so very much. Keep checking with us, help us fight whatever it is that needs to be fought for justice and for peace. God bless you.
All right. Thank you so much, Dr. George Boley is the representative district number 2, Grand County in this in an exclusive with us right here. And we're looking forward to having these sort of conversations in a civil context, just to make sure that we're all doing the right thing. Well, I'm going to open the line being opened, but folks, we are in a serious business. I'm not talking about like just to entertain and make people to get in ties, but there are serious issues that we need to talk about in the country, and we have to bring our leaders, whether we agree or disagree with them. We got to bring them and give them a fair share to also for them to have the ability to respond to these questions. And I think it is important. Once they come out, and that's why I don't want George Boley, Zoe Pennon, Marsha Dennis, Ellis Chesia Green to do any podcast, because then I will not have the opportunity to ask them questions. You will not have the opportunity to ask them questions. Let them come and sit, and we have this conversation. But let me just put a number there here to get your reaction. So we are hearing Ellis Chesia Green is reaching out. Who knows? It's not an investigation role going to be open, but of course, they wasn't part of the process. We reached out to them personally why they was in there, and we do have interest not to be judgmental, to give them the opportunity to get their versions. That's how it's supposed to be. You don't have to be sentimental. Sympathy, empathy do not have to factor in. This is a serious conversation. And tomorrow, hopefully, if the deal is done, Patrick Vandella, right? He's advocates. Now he's shifting his position. He wants to be senator for Mount Gibby County. Potentially, if all done, he will be appearing here tomorrow as well. Should I think about running to be representative for Boston District, where why people are running to go in the House? Is there some sort of luxury, the 30K, and all of the benefits attached? I have no idea. So let me have this number here. There will be a time that hopefully we can arrange, and we can have, it could be a time host star. But when we have this sort of conversation, there are specific things that we want to get to. So we intend not to shift the conversation, because we know how divisive politics is ongoing in our country. So we intend not to have a distraction here. But let me put this number out here. If you still want to give your feedback, speak, you have the right to agree and disagree with us, and even to the guests. I am Afonso Z, and so of the Liberia Public Radio and Lpr-Tv. Taking you to La Côte d'Ivoire this beautiful Sunday evening. I'm Afonso Z, and so very shortly we're going to be bringing the curtain down here this evening. We'll say a big thank you to our team and those who helped to facilitate this conversation. The song says we must put our hands together. We should do things in common. That's the only. When the house is divided, definitely it's going to fall. And that's what is happening. The country is divided, the county divided, district divided, home. It's just crazy. So the songwriter, he's not making a mistake.
Mama, you're a genie.
As Eritrea Morton and Anthony Gay, they could give you the perfect interpretations of this song, right? And And that's what we do after the real conversation. Then the entertainment part is inside it. We don't put entertainment first. We put it loud because there are serious things that we need to talk about. All right, folks, every good thing must come to an end. I'm not sure whether the second edition is going to come in here tonight, but we will see how it looks like. We want to thank you so much for sharing your beautiful Sunday evening with us. We are still in the final stages of having this sort of arrangement where there will be a live broadcast on our sister network in Liberia, the FN version. And we are still working out the technical details. But from all indications, the challenge is enormous here, there. Directly, indirectly, they are impacting all, because if it is just not good there, it's also not going to be here. Why? Because you're going to face that sort of economic tensions. There's no way that you can turn your back to your people. So all we are doing is we want good governance and good leadership, people who are going to stand up to their people. And that's the key. All of the advocates now want to go, the potential that want to go on Capitol Hill. And this is what I say here. Nobody can talk for me. Something to on the other one say, nobody here saying you more, he not saying you more. So for my end, nobody can talk to me, because all of these people, they are just cosmetic words they are used. They are doing this thing so as to seek power. And they're not going to do anything different. We are saying how they are flip-flop. They are kick the can down the road. All they are trying to do is to lay the foundation to make their argument. Yes, this is what I did. This is what I championed. And they will begin to be a little bit concrete of some of their doing. Even though they didn't succeed in doing it, it was done too wrongly. They were irresponsible in executing those things, even though the intention could been good, but because of lack of political tolerance. So when they do a years, they try to build up their resume. The next thing, people petition them. Even if people don't petition them, they say that's the calling. It is time for them to serve because they have done X, Y, Z. That was not the arguments of the Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King. He predicted it. He forecast it when he was in the course. And there was one thing he said. He was doing it. He was not sure that he was going to get to the end. He was going to get there. So he knew exactly. And he did not argue the point that I got to be. But today, all our advocates, justice advocates, social advocates, good governance advocate, what do they to represent? They are in multiple places at the same time, under the cloud of darkness with the sole purpose to get political reward, and on the other side that to fool or lie to people who want them to be lied to. Yes, we are not making good judgments of these things we're supposed to do. And this is what Stacey Abraham said. I love this quote, and that of General Collins Powell. Good leaders are always good leaders at the ready, but not always at the front. You find it difficult to understand. We can explain that next time. Good leader is not about you. You don't prioritize yourself. You prioritize the people and the change that you're going to evoke in society. On this note, I'm Alfonso Z. and Salt of the Liberia Public Radio. Have a pleasant evening. Bye-bye.
It's the time to come together. Keep Liberia safe forever.